Good afternoon, Bells Panthers. This is the Bells News Network, and I'm your host, Tristan Gardner, here with my co-host, Kendall Clark.
Here at BNN, we like to keep you guys up to date with everything going on with the Panthers. And for the last time this year, let's start off the episode with the school motto, learn, work, serve, respect every day. That's the Panther way.
This week, we'd like to highlight not just all of our amazing students and staff that we've highlighted so far, the ones that make Bells ISD our favorite school to report on, but one student in particular, a student we are so sad to say goodbye to, BNN's very own sportscaster and chief meteorologist, Jonathan Cox.
Jonathan was here from the very beginning, bringing his expertise into our sports and weather segments. Johnny's time at Bells has been eventful, with him singing the band at sweepstakes 2 times, playing the solo for the 2021 marching show, and just this year, advancing all the way to regionals in both golf and UIL science.
Jonathan does not know that we are highlighting him today, so instead of asking our spotlight about what motivates them or what they enjoyed, we asked his colleagues and teachers what they've enjoyed about Johnny Cox during his time at Bells ISD.
Okay. Jonathan is an amazing student. I had him first in my class at 7th grade science over at Pritchard Junior High. Right then, he was excited about the periodic table. We didn't even go over the periodic table in 7th grade, but he already knew most of the elements on the table. So I was able to have him in chemistry in high school and also medical terminology. He excelled in all 3 of my classes, but more than that, Jonathan's special to me because he's always committed to the science team. And every year he's been on my science team, which is 5 years in a row, he's always done super well. He's represented us in beta for the science contest there, and he is just going to go far, and I hope he remembers the small people in Bells.
I've really appreciated having Jonathan in class. He's been super inquisitive, always asks some good questions, always wants to know more, and he's going to go to OU. Boomer Sooner.
Go.
All right, what I like about Jonathan is, he's been my friend since 6th grade. He's accidentally funny. He says we're not best friends, but in reality, we really are. So, yeah.
Thank you for all you do for BNN and Bells ISD, Johnny. We'll be missing you here at 207 Productions.
And now, to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Johnny Cox, with what you missed this year in Panther sports.
Thanks, Kendall. This past year has been a great one for Panther athletics. So starting with football, we're going to do a quick recap of this year's accomplishments. The football team finished 10-3 and were regional semifinalists. And in cross country, the Lady Panthers were district runner-up and regional qualifiers.
The volleyball team was by-district champions and area finalists. In addition, the girls' basketball team finishes by-district finalists, while the boys were by-district champions and area finalists. In powerlifting, we had 5 boys regional qualifiers, with Peyton Cole advancing to state. For the girls, we had 24 regional qualifiers, with Lily Helgren, Electra Mask, and Tara Woodson all winning their weight classes, while Taylor Craig and Emma Waldrop also moved on to state.
Now to the Diamond. Our baseball team finished as by-district qualifiers, and the Lady Panther softball team finished as district champions and by-district qualifiers. In golf, the girls were regional qualifiers as a team, while the boys had me advance to regionals. And last but not least, in track, we had 28 area qualifiers, 6 regional qualifiers, and 1 state qualifier, senior Cooper Smith. Up next, we have Jaywalking with Jax.
Thanks, Johnny. I'm here with Shelby once again to talk about, how well I did this year, I suppose. I interviewed her the most this year, and I'm just going to basically ask her some questions about how I did and see how well I interviewed, I guess. Shelby, how well did I do?
Did pretty good. I mean, you interviewed me, 6 times already?
I think it was 4, but I think you did one with our main host, Kendall, once maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm always glad to have you. I'm glad we had such a great year, and thank you for allowing me to interview you a stupid amount of times. And I suppose it's to Ben with his last little thing, too. See you next year, I suppose.
Thanks, Jax. Hey guys, Ben here, back to Ben Around the Block. The forces of NATO are considering granting F-16 jets to Ukraine during their defense against invading Russian forces. This has come into debate due to President Volodymyr Zelensky's monthly push for the jets. Russia has warned the West that supplying the jets would be a major mistake, making the West a threat in the eyes of Russia. In other news, SpaceX has had a successful manned launch of the Falcon 9 rocket with the objective of sending a crew to the International Space Station. The crew consists of a retired NASA member now working with SpaceX, multiple millionaires, and Rihanna Barnawi, a stem cell researcher who's also the first Saudi Arabian woman to make it to space. Thank you for watching. I'm Ben, and you've been around the block. And now it's Kendall and Tristan with the weekly update and bells.
It's the last week of school. If you are exempt, then today is your last day. For those of you who aren't, Wednesday is 1st through 4th period exams with an early release at 11:45.
On Thursday, 5th through 8th period exams will be given and there will be an early release at 11:45, and that will be the final day of school this year.
On Friday, there will be a mandatory graduation practice for all seniors at 9 a.m. at Panther Stadium, and then the actual graduation will be held at 8:30 p.m. at Panther Stadium.
And before we head to our chief meteorologist for the last time, I'd like to announce that starting today, you can buy BNN merch. Using the link below, you can fill out an order form for a t-shirt, hoodie, or mug.
It'd mean a lot to us here at BNN if you would support us.
And for the last time, we're now going to our chief meteorologist, Jonathan Cox, with our weekly weather.
Thanks, Kendall. The last week of school will be starting out with a few overnight rain chances, but each day will bring clearing skies and temps well into the 80s. This weekend also looks great, with plenty of sun and highs into the mid-80s. Looking into the first week of summer, models are predicting near average temperatures for June, although there is an elevated chance of rain all throughout next week. As your chief meteorologist for the last year, I must say that it was an honor to be a part of a BNN community. It has been a chance for me to focus on my interests, and this opportunity will be greatly missed. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the Bells News Network.
Thanks, Jonathan.
And that's all for the Panthers this year. We loved this year of BNN, and we can't wait to be back next year for Season 2. The Bells News Network is brought to you by 207 Productions, the Bells ISD Film Club, the Colby Snowball Shack, and viewers like you.
And from the entire BNN family to you,
Thank you. That's a wrap.
That's so cute.